hand. Additionally, the FAST submission is an iterative process. You fix a few errors, upload your file, fix a few more errors, re-upload the file, fix more, find more errors. So it takes multiple attempts to get that done. And so we're going to show you a better and quicker, easier way to do that. Also, FAST has a lot of complex formulas from the federally mandated fields like Section 701, ESA, EPEC, keeping all of those rules straight from year to year to year to, make sure that you're staying in compliance and staying consistent with prior years is often a challenge as well. And so we have certain rules in place to automatically do those fields for you, so that you don't have to have your vehicle contacts do it or your agency fleet managers or even yourself at the headquarters level. Our tool can do those for you. FAST, a lot of times they'll give you minimal recommendations for correcting your data. So as you'll see in our tool, we'll show you, our best recommendations for what you can do to clean up your data. A lot of times it will be, based on prior year, based on similar vehicles, based on, other historical submissions that you have already done, and some of the knowledge that we've gained over the past 20 years of submitting FAST. And then you also have the multiple and separate data reviews that they undergo with FAST. You have your December review, which is directly in FAST, and then you have the secondary review, which comes out, typically in January or February. And so what we've done is consolidated all of those rules and all of those conditions and reviews into our tool, so you can do them all at once prior to your FAST submission. So our data quality approach is we can take in GSA, FAST, or we can create a vehicle level data Excel sheet for you. Once we upload that, we clean up your data by updating the vehicles with fields with the values from prior year where it's appropriate. We enhance your data in terms of geocoding, post office address standardization, DOT's National Highway Traffic Safety Administration look up the alternative fuel locator. So we, incorporate all of that into our tool. Then we do a data interrogation on the tool, on the data. So we do all of the FAST blocking errors, all of the FAST flagging errors, and then we do an enhanced check, which we call departmental errors. And we do those all at once, which you will see. So no more uploading and re-uploading to get all of the different types of errors. The next step that we do is we've created some predefined scripts that you can run to clean up any types of data, such as negative miles, as we talked about the federally mandated fields, things like vehicle type. So any of the fields that are in there, we have recommendations for how to correct those, and you can approve or reject certain scripts that can be run to clean up all of your data. Then in terms of single field data cleanup, we'll provide you with recommendations on how to clean them up if you wanted to do those manually. And then we do some key advanced data analytics. So we'll show you things like year over year data, so you can ensure that your data is consistent with prior years. And then this is just a quick slide on the types of validation that we do. So blocking and flagging are the ones that FAST does. The departmental ones are the ones that we've created to say that, hey, FAST will allow you to submit these, but they may be problematic in the long run in terms of data quality. So one of the biggest examples we had was we submitted ESA 146 and the value of non one particular year, and we got downgraded on our data quality for that. So now in future years, we flag that as a departmental error so that we never, ever submit that again. And you'll see that again in our tool. Okay, so this is our RunFAST tool. And as you can see, everything is blank. We're starting out with 0 records, 0 everything. And so what I'm going to do is upload the GSA VLD that we have. And so this is the VLD that you would typically get from GSA in October And as you can see, it's just the basic GSA VLD, with the headings and the types of information that they have. So I'm going to go ahead and upload that file. And then I'm going to click Process VLD. So down here, you can see that it's gone through, uploaded the data, it ran the evaluation, and it's completed the evaluation. And it's broken down the errors into blocking, departmental, and flagging. And you can see here that we have a total of 203 errors. So right now, just to show you, I'm going to download our enhanced VLD. And so our enhanced VLD is kind of a superset of what GSA provides to you. So as you can see, the first instant that we're color coded, so it will tell you whether or not it's a blocking error or whether or not it's a flagging error, and then also give you descriptions as to why it was flagged. We also provide you with enhanced definitions of the particular fields that we're working on. We freeze the panes so that you can keep the most valuable information about the vehicle up front and center. And then we add on additional information from your FMIS. We add in the NHTSA information. So we do VIN lookups on all of the data. So you have those. And then we freeze the headers as well. So you can keep those. So this file at any time can be uploaded into FAST. We add in some additional tabs. So you can see prior year information. You can see prior VIN information, all of the NHTSA information. So we give you a lot of information in this worksheet in case you guys still want to work, with the Excel document. So I'm going to close out of here and then go into our tool. So from here, you can see we have all of the values that are problematic flagged. You can come in here and clean up the data a couple of different ways. You can do edit. And then it will show you the individual vehicle with, highlights and flags, and then also some information about the errors that are there. The way that we're going to clean it up today, to give you an idea, is the express cleanup. And so the express cleanup is a collection of all of the scripts that we've created to clean up the data in the system. So all of these scripts are available for you to either, you can approve them and say, yeah, these are okay to run. You can disapprove them and say, no, I never want to run this type of cleanup. I'd rather do this one manually. Or you can say, only run this script, on the last day right before fast submission because we have to get, the information done. But you can see there are scripts like clean the fleet abbreviation. So you can clean the cost of indirect. In that case, you would tell us, hey, here's the default value. If nobody provides any information, you put this number in, or you can use this calculation in order to create that default measure. We can clean up addresses. So right now, so you can run those individually, or you can select the ones that you want to run manually. The way that I'm going to do it now is what we call the express cleanup. And so what's going to happen is that the tool is going to look at every error that's in this submission. It's going to try to match it up with the script that we have that will do the cleanup, and it will run all of those scripts. So now I'm going to do the express cleanup. So it's going to evaluate the data at each and every run. So it kind of gives you information about what's going on. And as you can see, we started out with 203 errors, and now those errors keep going down. Now we're down to 116. And if you can see it, the colors start going away, meaning that we're cleaning up those flags. Goes down to 60. So, and the goal of this is to get you down to as close to 0 errors as we possibly can. So a lot of times we can get you to 100% if you go with all of our approved scripts. Sometimes our customers say, well, things like negative miles, we don't want to submit. Well, we don't want to correct. We'd rather have our team be able to clean those up. And then sometimes, let's see. Okay, so now we're down to 1 error. So let me go to refresh. And sometimes we do have certain issues that happen with the system like this one. For whatever reason, it's sticking and saying that I still have an error, but it doesn't look like I really have an error. But then you can come here to the RunFAST data correction, and you can see all of the vehicles, the types of flagging, the category, the user fields, the error description, and then the scripts that were run in order to clean it. So we have the date that we ran it, the original value, the new value, if it's changed. So you can always see what we've done. And I think the most powerful part of, what we've created is that, this is repeatable. You can run this, as many times as you need to in order to keep the, test, retest, evaluate the information, multiple times, so that you can get your data quality exactly where you need it to be, when you need it to be. So right now it's showing 0 errors, and show you a few of the reports that we create. So we create a zip file that you can get at any time. We call it the briefing book. But some of the tools that we think are key are, the year-over-year type review and analysis. So you could use this to make sure that your data is consistent from year to year, where it needs to be. You can look for areas that you might want to clean up. So if you have things like 2500 HD and 2500 without a space HD, and you wanted to clean those up to make that data consistent, there are tools in the system to help you and allow you to do that as well. So what we do is we try to provide you with as many different views of your data to get the level and quality of your data as high as we possibly can get it. We set a standard that, we want to be 99% of fast, and we've been able to do that the last 5 or so years with the Department of Labor and Department of Transportation. But aside from that, we try to go over and beyond what FAST wants and what FAST, demands, and try to get the data, where we're comfortable with it. Like I said, they're not flagging gross vehicle weight anymore, but we think that that's important to keep consistent. So we constantly look at the NHTSA data to make sure that our data is consistent with theirs so that we can, clean it up there. In one of our previous meetings, one of the agencies is using a range. And so our team is now a range of values for, like the gross vehicle weight, like 8,000 to 9,000 or 11,000. So our team is looking to incorporate that as well, so that we can be, better stewards of the information and data. So, all right, so that was 15 minutes as a quick overview of our RunFAST. Are there any questions? Let me pull this up. Carol, was there anything that you guys were thinking about at the post office that I might have hit on or maybe missed?
You're mute.
Oh, how about you, Mr. George? Where are you from?
Florida.
Okay, what
I've
department?
I've been working on the fast on and off with Mr. Burgess,
Oh, okay.
and I don't have anything to really pinpoint out today, but I'll look into this product and I think it might be helpful. So I'll work with Carol Burgess on it.
Okay. Yeah, when we were talking to Carol a little bit earlier before the meeting started, we said, just put together a list of challenges that you have had in the past. And then when we, get to talk again or meet, we can walk through some of those challenges and how we can help you with those.
Yeah, sorry about that. I couldn't find the right unmute.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
But yeah, I mean, you touched on the problems of the ESA flag, the EPAC flag, all those flags, the gross vehicle weight, those are having problems. Data quality, well, that's we're just probably gonna have to take that as a hit. But over the years, when we clean up, like make our models, we take that as a data correction, and we take a hit on that every year. But I mean, that's nothing we're going to be able to do about that. We're just going to have to pick one and stick with it, I guess, and be consistent.
Yeah, those are things that, we fight with them about every single year. It's like our quality of data is getting better, but you're penalizing us for it. And, from our standpoint, it's like, well, we're changing it, but if we put in a comment that explains why we're changing it, that should go into the review as well. So. But yeah, I mean, that's, we, place a premium on, the data quality. So if there are things that you are doing by hand, those are hard to, repeat, year after year after year. So our tool, we just standardize it. You can export it, you can look at it, you can review it. You can make sure that you're doing the same things, year over year over year. And it takes the guesswork out of it, I think.
Yeah. Another problem we have, which again, I don't know if there is a solution for it, but we have commercial leased vehicles. And if we lease it over a certain period of time, it counts as an acquisition. Well, we can lease it for, a year, 2 years, 3 years, whatever. We can turn it back in, and within the same year, assign it to it. It'll go on another location as a new lease, and it counts as being a disposal, being still in inventory after disposal. So that's another issue that we have. But I don't know if we can necessarily correct it with this software. It's just something that's inherent and fast. We've had a couple of times with GSA vehicles too. We turn in a GSA lease, and they'll lease it to another location, same vehicle. We have it enter as a disposal and as an acquisition.
Yeah, so we've run into that too. There was a time when they changed the acquisition dates because they gave us new tags. So we ran into those. So the biggest thing that we can do is track those, make sure that you're aware of those, make sure that we're commenting on those, and make sure, I think the biggest thing is that there are no surprises. So between the December review and the February review, like most of the time when they come out with that stuff, we have already addressed 99% of their issues.
Yeah.
And so that's what the goal is to make it so, you don't have to, worry about it. You don't have to think about it. We have the answers already, and we're tracking them in the system. And, like we say, you can submit with complete confidence.
Yeah. I think it has a whole lot of potential.
Yeah, and it gets better and better. I mean, from the suggestions that you provided us with, the last meeting that we had, we've started to incorporate those. So some of the things that it's not shown on here yet, but our team is working on is, the import from the XML. So I think that's something that we're going to show in our next meeting. The export to XML, we have that in the background, so you'll be able to see that as well. And then the biggest thing that you contributed was, the error corrections and being able to see those and the definitions for that. So, these meetings and the questions and the answers and the suggestions we really take to heart, and we're like, wow, that's a great suggestion. Our current customers could definitely benefit from that. It makes the system, so much better. So, we just go in and incorporate that type of feedback, right there into the system. So there are things that we're doing behind the scenes, but we weren't making it visible. So like now we work on, making that information visible to you. So I definitely appreciate that.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to go down the line. Samuel Lee, did you have any questions, suggestions, comments, feedback?
At what level would this be performed? Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. I'll try to turn you up on my end.
Give me 1 second. Let me see if I can hear this. Let me see if I can hear me now.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, yeah. What level would this be performed at, the fleet manager level or headquarters level? Or
So we
admin?
have. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's it.
Okay, so we break the information down into like different roles. But of course, you can customize these to how you would like to. So for the vehicle contacts, we try to limit their interaction with the system to the basics of what we might need to get from them. So we wouldn't want them to, have to worry about like the federally mandated fields like Section 701 or ESA or that type of information. So right now, if you can see my screen, the fields that the vehicle contact can do are over on the left. At headquarters, of course, we can do all the data, and then we reserve the Section 701 ESA for headquarters, so nobody else has to see it. And then the agency manager can do, most of the fields. So you can delegate as much of this work down as you would like to. You can hold on to it up at the top as much as you can, but there are certain things that, you might not actually know, like, the garage address that the vehicle contact might have readily on hand. So we provide them with that access to do that as well.
It just seems to me that the fleet manager would be a good candidate for cleaning, actually exercising of the functions that you gave us, that you've shown us to clean the data.
Yeah. So, yeah, definitely. So, like I said, we can configure this any way that you'd like. If you wanted the agency fleet managers to be able to run all of the scripts and all of these things, you definitely could. They could be the masters of their domain, within their agency. So we can configure it any way that you would like.
Okay.
One of the ways that this system is designed as well is you can get notifications. So we would send out these briefing books on the schedule that you guys, can design. You can say, hey, give it to me every day during fast season, give it to me once a week when it's not fast season. Ideally, we'd be working with your FMIS, or you could use one of our FMISs, and we'd be cleaning this data on a daily basis. As new vehicles come in, we would clean them, we would, evaluate them, we either clean them or alert the vehicle contact, hey, you got a new vehicle, we need to have the address put in. Or most of the times, if it's a replacement vehicle, we default to the previous address. But if it's things like assignment type, either we can default to the previous assignment type for the prior VIN, or, sometimes they don't provide that to us. So we would need, the vehicle contact to go in there and put in the assignment type. Or you could tell us, hey, this agency only uses this one assignment type, and then we could default it to that as well. So you could design the rules and approve the rules, as you see fit.
Okay, thank you.
See if I can find a list of the scripts. Okay, and these are some of the data sources that we use and pull information from. Okay, and here are the cleanup scripts that we're talking about. So, you can pick and choose, from these. You can approve them, you can reject them, you can enhance them or customize them. But at least you'll know, hey, at the end of the year, when we submit it fast, here are the things that we did in order to be able to bring our data into the level of compliance that we need. And this is the year-over-year data. And from here, you can correct, these issues, or, edit them, or do whatever you need to do. Let's see. Ron H. Oh, and Samuel, where are you from? Did you say?
Department of Interior.
Department of Interior. Okay, thank you. Ron H., any questions, comments? Michael Carr, any questions, comments? All right, Teresa Sutton, any questions or comments? Anything that you may have missed that you might want me to go over again?
Not at this time, no.
Okay, and where are you from?
I'm from the Department of Health and Human Services, Homeland Security. I'm sorry.
Okay, no
Health
worries.
and Human Services. I used to work there. But no, Health and Human Services with PSG.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you so much for coming. And if you've missed anything, we send out a video of this, or if you contact my team, we can set up individual, sessions to, walk you through. I think my team is putting out, we have a demo site where you can guys go in there and, try out the system and try out the data cleanup and those types of things. So, anything you need from us, just let us know.
Okay, yeah, thank you. 'Cause I did see it was being recorded, so I was just gonna go back to what I missed, and if I had any questions, reach out.
Yeah, definitely. All right.
When will this be sent out again? I'm sorry.
It should be
presentation.
probably by close of business today. And we usually send it out right after the meeting. So just make sure that we have your email address. Sometimes in Teams, it doesn't give us your email address. So, and if you don't receive something, just,
if you could drop your emails in the chat, that would be ideal. Because that would make it the easiest to send it out to the attendees, because sometimes Teams does bug out and kind of take away our option to view email addresses.
Okay.
Okay, and I think Ron H had a question, but he can't unmute. So if you type in the question in the chat, I can answer it. Oh, you're with the Corps of Engineers. Okay. All right, well, that concludes our presentation. But if anybody has any other questions and wants to stick around and ask those, I'm here, so. But thank you very much for coming.
Thank you.